In 2023, I interviewed a farmer in Tennessee who was growing watermelons, tomatoes, winter squash, salad mix, root vegetables, a little bit of everything, you could say. He was a few months into his first market season. He just quit his job and he was figuring out how to farm. I interviewed him 3 years later, and he dropped almost all of those crops, built his entire farm around one product, and he did $130,000 in revenue last year. This is the story of how specialization of a first-year farm experiment turned into a real business and what it actually cost that farmer to get there. I'm Diego, Diego. Welcome to Modern Grower, where we talk about building a profitable farm business, not just a farm. Let's get into it.
I have watermelons and winter squash growing outside. I'll never grow that stuff again, but when I planted it, I wasn't necessarily thinking that I was going to have to plan on making a living doing this. I grew tomatoes this year, which I'm just like, I'm not doing that. 4 hours worth of work every week for $200 worth of tomatoes. Like maybe not even some weeks. I think last week I probably made $200 off tomatoes, but like most weeks, not really.
4 hours of work for $200. Maybe. That's what year one looks like for a lot of growers. You plant everything because you don't know what's going to sell. Watermelon, squash, tomatoes, salad mix, root crops. It feels like diversification. It feels like you're reducing risk. It feels like you have to grow everything. But what's actually happening is you're spreading your time across 10 crops and getting mediocre at most of them. I've seen this pattern across so many new farmers. The farmer who grows 30 things usually can't tell you the actual revenue per bed on any single one. They know what they planted, they know what they harvested, but they don't always know what it costs to get them there. Chef Mikey could feel it. 4 hours a week on tomatoes to bring in $200. He was running the math in his head and he didn't even need a spreadsheet because the math was telling him something. It wasn't working.
I'm really like starting to go down to the straight Curtis Stone model and roots, basically. If it's not some sort of leafy green or some sort of root, like I'm not growing it unless it's for myself.
That was 2023. He was at the beginning of the decision. He hadn't fully committed yet. He was saying those words, but the watermelons were still on the ground. Now listen to what it sounds like 3 years later.
We do the same things every week. My business is salad greens. We sell 100 to 200, sometimes it's more like 200 to 300 pounds of salad greens every single week.
I grow a lot of different things, and salad greens is one of them. It's not mostly a salad farm. It's an identity statement. My business is salad greens. He went from growing a dozen crops and guessing what would sell to planting 1,200 heads of lettuce and direct seeding 3 beds of arugula every single week. Same thing, $13 a pound wholesale. That transformation didn't happen overnight. It happened because he kept cutting things that didn't perform and doubling down on the one thing that did. Most growers add crops when things aren't working. Chef Mikey subtracted them.
It went bad last year because there was a chef change at my biggest restaurant client. They were literally went from buying 80 pounds a week to buying 10 pounds a week. And that hurt. Only for a minute, though. That's a good thing about salad greens. They grow so fast. When things go south, like it ain't no thing. In 4 weeks, you're caught back up. You know what I mean? But it sucked for 4 weeks. I lost a bunch of money. I had to scramble and go to farmers markets to try to sell it.
This is the clip that people who are afraid of specialization need to hear. 80 pounds a week to 10. That's a massive hit from one client. That's the exact nightmare scenario everybody warned you about when you put all your eggs into one basket. And he recovered in 4 weeks. That's the hidden advantage of fast turnover crops. If your specialty is something that takes 6 months to grow, garlic, fruit trees, perennial crops, losing a major buyer is devastating. You've already invested the time, the product is sitting there. But salad greens turn over in 4 weeks. If your client disappears, you scale back planting. If a new client comes in, you scale up. The adjustment cycle is measured in weeks, not seasons. Specialization in a fast crop isn't the same risk as specialization in a slow crop. That distinction matters, and most people don't make it.
There's things I've said yes to that just didn't work out, and I've learned some lessons about that. I guess like they asked me to grow bitter greens last year. So it's the same chef that stopped ordering 100 or like 80 pounds of lettuce every week, and they were switching their menu to like bitter greens. So I tried doing that, but then I realized if they don't buy it, like nobody else wants it. You know what I mean? So I just was like, I'm just going to grow the lettuce, dude. And I went back to lettuce.
Yeah.
Because like that's easy for me. I'm already the lettuce guy. It's like I'm already turned sales down for lettuce. But then when I start being like, hey, you want to buy frisee and escarole? People are like, nah, you got lettuce, bro?
You got lettuce, bro? That's the market talking. He's already the lettuce guy. He tried to expand his product once because the chef asked him to. And the moment that chef stopped buying, he had nobody else to sell that product to. Meanwhile, he was turning down new lettuce customers every month.
I learned that like they buy tomatoes off other farmers way cheaper than me. So I don't really grow tomatoes. It's just not my thing. They don't want to buy them from me. So that's like the type of things I've learned.
Same lesson from different angle. His chefs told him directly, we buy tomatoes from someone else. Don't bother. He didn't figure out what to grow by guessing. He figured it out by listening to his customers and being honest about the math. Tomatoes, 4 hours a week for maybe $200 back in year one. Bitter greens, one client request that had zero demand from anyone else. Every crop he dropped made the crops he kept more profitable. Not because his lettuce got better, because his time, his beds, his systems all got more focused.
It's consistency. Nobody else is willing to do it every week, or nobody knows how to do it every week. Like I got it every week. You know what I mean? That's a huge thing. If that's the biggest thing chefs want. If you go up to a chef and you're like, yeah, I've got this product, that's great, but you got to have it again next week. And you got to have it again the week after that. Chefs want to have stuff like X number of weeks in a row. It doesn't do them any good. Just buy like salad mix from you once. Oh, yeah, I can't grow it fast enough. Even at the numbers that I gave you, like I sell out every week and I turn down customers. Like I had 3 chefs call me within the last like 4 weeks and they were like recommended to me through word of mouth. And I was just like, dude, like I sell out every week. I'm sorry, chef. I'm not in a position to take on additional clients right now.
Yeah. He's turning away business. Think about what that means. He's not struggling to find buyers. He's not trying to figure out who wants his product. He has more demand than he can fill. And it's not because he's growing some rare exotic crop that nobody else can grow. It's lettuce, it's arugula. Anybody with the seeds and soil could theoretically compete with him. But nobody else is showing up every single week. That's his moat. It's not the product, it's the reliability. Chefs don't want to wonder if their salad supply will show up on Tuesday. They just want it to arrive. Same quantity, same volume every week. Specialization made that possible. When you grow only one thing, you get very good at growing it consistently. You're not splitting attention between tomatoes and lettuce and herbs and roots. You're just solving one problem over and over until nobody in your market can match you on consistency. This is worth sitting on for a second. Most growers compete on quality or price. Chef Mikey competes on showing up consistently, week after week after week. That might sound simple, but how many growers do you know, or can you consistently deliver the same product, same volume, 30 weeks in a row? That's the bar. And most people can't clear it. Not because they can't grow, but because they're growing too many things to be consistently good at any one of them.
Straightforward. Last year, we did $130,000 in revenue, and I paid myself $30,000.
$130,000 off 80 50-foot beds across 2 properties, 8 restaurant clients selling mostly one category of product. and $30,000 in take home. The gap is real. He's paying $40,000 in labor. He's reinvesting consistently. He treats his farm as a platform that funds the rest of his business, YouTube, farm dinners, and eventually a restaurant.
It's definitely risky to start a salad greens business. And I would say that having waste was a part of my education. But when it came time for the sales, I had the product ready to go. You know what I mean? Because that's what I was focused on. I was like, I know I want to start a salad greens business because I learned it from you and Curtis Stone. You know what I mean? That was the way to go. And I just knew it. I didn't have the sales outlets, but I also didn't have the experience growing it. So I had to learn how to grow it. I had to waste some to figure out my systems and build my business. But then when I found the clients, I actually had the product and I was able to deliver consistently week after week. And I've just doubled down on that. So now, like I said, we're planting about 1,200 heads of lettuce and direct seeding 3 beds of arugula every week.
Waste was part of his education. That line right there, he wasted salad greens in the beginning because he wanted to learn how to grow them before he had clients to sell them to. Most people would see this as waste and panic. Switch to something else, add more crops to hedge. He stayed the course, he got good at one thing, and when the buyers showed up, he was ready. Let's take a look at the playbook. 1, track your labor per crop. The math doesn't work, then the crop doesn't stay. 2, ask your customers what they actually want before you plant. 3, build consistently before you build variety. 1 crop every week is more valuable than 10 crops sometimes. 4, when you drop a crop, your remaining crops get better, not because they changed, because your focus did. In 2023, Chef Mikey was growing watermelons, winter squash, tomatoes, and everything else. In 2026, he basically just grows salad greens. That's not a story about a farmer who got lucky with 1 crop. It's a story of a farmer who eliminated everything that wasn't working until the thing that was working had the room to become a real business. $130,000 in revenue, 8 restaurant clients, 3 years. Not from adding more, from doing less, better. Now go build a farm business, not just a farm. I'm Diego, Diego. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, hit like, hit subscribe. And until next time, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.